So, Benson, have you seen the recent trailers for this game?
I was refreshing my memory with like a 6-minute presentation on it. So yeah, I've seen stuff
So you
for
saw
it.
the most recent things then?
The most recent, I would say, yeah. I was watching some gameplays. I actually was watching earlier some of the gameplay stuff, and I was like, oh, these worlds look pretty, and I'm like, wow, there might have been a Rayman reference in there. So, you know, I've seen some stuff, that's for sure.
It was? Okay.
Well, possibly. What? Again, possibly. Knock on wood, in regards to the wood. Like, the world itself. Like, they're like the Rabbids world and Mario world collide, and I thought I saw something that looks very similar to what you see in Rayman, and I'm like, if that's a Rayman reference, I'm gonna lose it. I will lose it on this entire game. You know, give us Rayman 4.
Was Rayman frozen in ice on
No. Honestly, if they do that, I will genuinely be impressed. If that's an Easter egg I feel like they should do, will they do it? Maybe not, because then they know everyone's going to be angry, and they're like, wow, that's where Rayman's been this whole time. And never going to be seen again.
Do you like my sloth mug?
I love that. That's adorable. I love that. That's extremely adorable.
Is there just water in there?
I feel like there's just water
it's tea.
in there. Oh,
it's
tea! It's a tea kind of day.
I wouldn't drink water out of a mug. That's a glass kind of thing.
That's why I wanted you to do it.
I mean, yeah, because why not, you know? You got the thing out, just pour some water in it.
Actually, I'm drinking cement from my sloth mug.
What?
Drinking cement. Drinking cement.
Yeah,
I prefer that personally. I like it.
My new favorite thing to collect is novelty mugs that are in convenient shapes.
Nice.
They're fun. They're fun.
I might get into those.
Bonus points if there's like a chance that it's got like something that can stab you in the eye as you're sipping it. That's the best.
No, you're fine. I'm not frozen either. Like, you're good. You're good on my end. You're not frozen. I'm not frozen. Shroob,
I'm not frozen.
Shroob, your icon's frozen.
Oh no!
No!
Help. I'm stuck in place.
Now, George. Okay, George lagged, and now you're fine. You're fine, George. You're fine. It was like lagging for a second. I almost had a heart attack because I thought it did freeze, and I was like, "Don't you dare!" But otherwise, you're moving perfectly fine now. The movement is fluid. You know, CRTV movement. Oh, can he not hear us?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
George, say something.
George.
Something.
Hey!
Oh, he did.
He can hear us again.
You guys appeared to be frozen.
Yeah.
Was I frozen?
No, you weren't frozen at all. Well, he's
Hey,
gone.
Benson.
Hi, Shrew.
When's that Minecraft SMP?
Christ, we're doing this. Oh, there he is again. We're back. We're back. No, you weren't. Here's the thing, George. You weren't frozen at all the entire time. So we're watching you fiddle around, and we were like, "Is he good? Can he hear us?"
No, you were frozen. I could not hear you.
Yeah, no. You weren't frozen on our end. You were like looking around, and we were watching. We were like, Shroob. We're like, Shroob. He can't see us.
All right. Well, hopefully it will all serve to make the video funnier. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, shall I get us started then? I really wish I had prepared more for this.
By all means.
Citations, gaming enthusiasts, Short Mario Nerd, and the Flatmates here again after quite some time of not doing any videos. I thought I would do camera on this time. I'm hoping to, like, over time develop a nice sort of background for me to record videos in. I've got the excellent, beautiful work of art thumbnail on my wall over there that I used for my anniversary video. And I hope to put, like, maybe some more canvases of my thumbnails and do, like, a shelf of Mario paraphernalia, and I want to have me nice plastic logo up on the shelf as well. That'd be nice to have in the background. But this week we are discussing Mario+Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which I'm very excited for this game. I'm very, very excited indeed. The original Mario+Rabbids Kingdom Battle is my second favourite game on the Switch after Octopath Traveler, and this is my by far most anticipated game of the year. Is this game? So.
Nice.
Thoughts?
Shroob, you want to start?
Yeah, Origami King isn't better than Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I completely agree.
Well, that was an interesting. That was a sentence. That was a sentence. You know.
Yeah. Mario and Rabbids. I started streaming a little bit, and it was honestly probably more fun than most of Origami King.
Agree.
I liked the game.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not hard to top a janky battle system for regular battles, though. You know what I mean? It's not hard to, like, you know.
Yeah. Origami King is kind of all over the place. Like, it's fun, and I enjoy pretty much everything about it.
Yeah.
But, like, the battles, they're, like, several different kinds, and they kind of hit or miss. And I have actually been rewatching your Origami King review recently, Benson. I've been working my way through that.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, the battles. I feel like Kingdom battles are a lot more entertaining than what Origami King gives you most of the time.
And that's because you can't destroy Mario and Rabbids battles systematically with math. Okay, play the clip here of me destroying with math Origami King or whatever. Blah blah blah. But you know, but you have anything else to say, Shrew, before I do my thoughts?
I mean, honestly, for Mario and Rabbids, it's all math and like 10 damage percent of luck.
Strategy.
Yeah, well, you can't also like it's strategy, but also like you can't use math in a bad way to destroy why your system is nuanced or like not nuanced, flawed, like Origami King's. Like I can pull up a graph and show you the influx of coins and how it mathematically breaks the game. But with Mario and Rabbids, there's so many different stats and different basically RPG boosts and debuffs that you literally it all depends on how you play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I guess we should start. Wait, you go, George. Sorry, I cut you off.
Again.
No, I just said that the system works in Mario and Rabbids. There's not like there's not an obvious flaw that you can like exploit the heck out of to just win the game too easily. It's every battle you come across, basically, you've got to think about it. You've got to think your way around it, and there's various different strategies that will work in different areas and different kinds of enemies and different kinds of areas and battles that you'll find yourself in that you've got to really be on the ball with and think about.
For sure, and that actually leads into the first thing I kind of want to talk about. I mean, I think it's a smart idea to actually talk about Kingdom Battle first. What was your guys' setup when you were playing the game? What characters did you use?
It's been forever since I've played. I genuinely kind of forget.
I just very recently replayed the game, actually.
I'll get back to you. I'll try to replay it.
Like a couple of weeks ago, actually, I just finished. I did the whole game and then I did all the DK DLC. I shift around quite a lot.
Yeah.
I really enjoy using Rabid Luigi. Rabid Luigi's vamp dash is actually really underestimated by so many people. People tend to talk about, we use Luigi and Rabid Peach all the time, whereas I like Rabid Luigi, and Rabid Mario. I think that Rabid Mario is probably my favourite character, because he's got all of his abilities really, really suit his kit as like a close-range brawler, and I've seen him in the trailers for the new game. I love how they gave him like these big gauntlets.
That is an interesting point.
Punch people with it, and I'm like, yes, that suits him and his personality so well.
I gotta agree. I do remember Rabid Mario is always like, and I feel like that's everyone honestly. Rabid Mario was always one of the fan favorites just for like gameplay, in my opinion. But he's easily one of the best ones to use because of his physicality of it all. Like you said, it's just the abilities plus some, and the fact they gave him gauntlets. Like I was watching the gameplay earlier, I was like, whoa, that's actually pretty rad. And it looks like that has some area of effect stats as well in regards to affecting enemies around instead of just one. That's pretty rad. Like that's honestly kind of cool.
Yeah. Like I think are the gauntlets going to work like the hammers did? Like similar to those. I'm not sure. I really should have rewatched the trailers before this video, because the most like recent proper trailer and like gameplay that we got, like, what was it, a couple months ago or something at this point.
It's been a while.
I haven't watched that again since it originally came out, and I feel I'm gonna get my phone.
He's gonna watch it. He's gonna watch it live on stream. I can't. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be a first for Flatmates. Is a live reaction. But Shrew, what was your layout then? If we're talking about it.
Definitely it was Mario, Luigi, and then Rabbid Peach.
That's a good one.
The thing about it is, I mean, for Rabbid Mario, he's really good, and I admit that, but he is very difficult to use very successfully. He's definitely more skill-based than Rabbid Peach, who is extremely easy to use.
Yeah, that's fair.
Luigi, you have a little bit of skill, but
yeah,
there's not that much. Just keep Luigi out of everything.
That is
But
true.
I will say that the end game became almost impossible with that setup. I haven't beaten the game yet because, well, that also kind of leads into like a problem I personally had with Kingdom Battle. I think that the economy is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It's, from my personal opinion, it is almost impossible to switch from character to character because you need coins to buy the best weapons.
And you don't get many. You don't get many.
Coins are horrible in this game.
I feel like I get a lot of coins. Do you just get coins from winning battles? And I feel like every couple of battles I'm able to get a weapon or two.
Well, not as many as you really should, I feel like, because, like Shrew was mentioning, the economy can be a trouble, and I 100% agree. I feel like there's not much that you get to give you the best success. You get the bare minimum, essentially, like, wow, you won. Here's some coins. Get some items, maybe get an upgrade or two. If you want that shiny weapon, you're gonna have to, like, good luck, get good next time, loser, type of thing, But
for sure.
It definitely is frustrating, which is weird, because I feel like Rabbid and Battle Kingdom is a slightly easier game for me, which is weird, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the only thing holding me back is the fact I can't continue to upgrade weapons, which is in some way a detriment, because if I'm stuck with base 1 weapons with no way to upgrade, then obviously it's going to become like a roadblock for me, because I can't exactly keep progressing naturally with my character. Like, if you're stuck playing with base 1 weapons almost a good chunk of the time, for example, then you're basically handicapping yourself like a level 1 Proud Mode Kingdom Hearts run, essentially, is what I could sort of compare it to. But the fact that they don't give you enough coins, I feel like, in my opinion, and I agree with Shrew with it too, like, to give you the chance to naturally upgrade is kind of insane.
It's doable if you're using only 3 characters.
Yes.
It's actually pretty easy. The problem is that you can't just use 3 characters most of the time unless you first off find the perfect combo right away, which, if you've never played the game before, you're not gonna have that.
Yep.
Because obviously I just don't think Rabbid Peach and Luigi is the best setup. I probably would keep Luigi, but I might replace Rabbid Peach with either Rabbid Luigi or Rabbid Mario. It's just not doable though, because I don't like grinding.
Yeah, grinding's a pain.
Natural grinding is fine. Yep. That is called going through the game.
That's called character development.
I don't know what games you're playing, but I really didn't have any trouble with having enough coins to buy weapons, to be honest.
It's easy but at the same time, I feel like the coins are just like, really? Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's been a while, but all I remember is literally going through battles, preparing myself, and it's basically like the pricing of the weapons does not match the coins it gets you, which a lot of RPGs tend to have that problem. Even games like Golden Sun has that problem sometimes, which is ironic for me, because I feel like this game's gonna have the problem, or is gonna take away the problem, where the coins and whatever economy it uses will be fine, but it's gonna be a lot easier, almost childishly easy. Like, at least with Battle Kingdom...
Can you speak on what the economy is going to be like in this game, because they haven't...
Starbits?
I feel like that's the kind of thing that you wait until you've played the game to tell whether...
Well, I feel like it's gonna be fine. It seems like they're learning a lot, but the economy... Because Starbits are a lot more common in the maps, it seems like, than actual coins. Like, it's basically like Mario Galaxy 2. Like, there's a lot more Starbits anyways, and yes, they put a lot more focus on Starbits in Galaxy, but at the same time, if they're gonna do the route where it's like the Starbits are the economy for this game, then yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. But they could also go the dangerous route and sort of pay homage to Mario Galaxy and put the Starbits in as a cool thing for other stuff, but the main thing of coins is still lacking. They could go that route and it's a dangerous route that many RPGs do. And but still, I feel like even then, this game's probably gonna be way easier anyways, and it's not my most anticipated game. If anything, I don't even consider it a Game of the Year candidate. I think it's just gonna be a game I can turn my mind off for and just enjoy, because it seems like from what I've seen, it's basically baby's first strategy game. And as someone that plays things like Fire Emblem, Metal Slug Tactics is on the way and I'm excited for, and so many other strategy games, I feel like this is just gonna be like, you know, something that's fun, but I don't anticipate it being like anything grand. If anything, they're putting a lot of mileage on the fact that these worlds look beautiful and these abilities, look at these cool abilities, you know, but those abilities are easy.
Absolutely delightful. It looks absolutely delightful. The animations and all the characters, like I just watched like the recent trailer for it, and I was just smiling at it the whole time. I really like the animations on the characters, and the world looks really gorgeous. It looks very well polished. Yeah, they're doing the battlefields very differently to how they did it in the first game. The first game, it was like one big set world, and you got to a certain point, and now this is the battlefield, and then once you finish with the battle, you walk through the battlefield. That isn't the battlefield anymore.
Right.
But now you just find an enemy on the overworld, and you can like do like a starting attack, like you're in Mario and Luigi or Paper Mario, and then you get transported to a battlefield. So it allows them to make a lot more natural looking like overworld areas that feel better, rather than it's built around giving you battlefield after battlefield after battlefield, because that doesn't look.
I do like that.
I do like that. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of in the opposite boat. I kind of feel like, well, it depends on how they did the battlefields, because I think that on the first game, it was smart because they didn't focus on making them battlefields first for some of them. And that I've only played through World 1, but they are obviously battlefields and they're treated that way, but they focused on making like the worlds themselves, and then they placed battlefields throughout, which made some very interesting ways to battle. Like, I know at the end of World 1, there's a ton of places where there's just a ton of pipes and then a ton of height to get to. That's pretty memorable and feels very different.
It's natural. Like, it doesn't feel like a battlefield just slapped on. It's like you're literally fighting in a world last second, is kind of what you're getting at, right?
Okay, I mean, I suppose having like a battlefield as part of the overall world, it makes the battles feel more integrated into the world, I guess, and like climbing up a tower and doing battles as you go. That's pretty fun, but I do think that there is a lot to be gained by designing the battlefield and the overworld completely separately, because then you can do whatever you want with the battlefield, and you can do whatever you want with the overworld without having one affect or like bring down another. Like you might need to cram a battlefield into a place in the world where it wouldn't look natural.
See, Shroom's bringing up a good point though, that is kind of making me, because I do love me some like natural world progression or natural world integration with my RPG. So so like it's like the economy. We could speculate all we want. It's just a wait and see what's gonna happen. But I feel like for this one, it's tough. It depends on how you see it, because I want to see how they handle these battlefields. And I'm interested to see what the battlefields are. Depending on how they integrate it all, I might either lean one way or another, but for this, I'm sort of neutral. I'm sort of neutral again, where I feel like, you know, it can go one way or another. I agree with you, George, and your points. I also agree with you, Shrew, but I will not lie. I do love me some natural world effects when you do it on the battlefield, and it's all integrated with the overworld, and it does make it memorable. But I see where you're coming from as well, and I'm interested to see how they handle this and where I'm going to lie and if I like it or not.
But also, oh, you go, George. I got you.
Sorry. This seems to mean that the battles are now largely optional, if I'm not incorrect. That means they are. I mean, Mario and Rabbids. Are they still doing the skill tree from the first game?
I don't think
They better.
I don't think they've mentioned that yet. I don't know.
They better, because that's one of my favorite parts of the first game.
The skill tree was
They're
awesome.
they're very possibly like already spoken about that, and since we haven't watched these recently, we don't remember. But I'm sure that, especially since having enemies on the overworld and you transported to a battlefield means that you can technically go around the enemies and choose not to do them. Obviously, you're then falling into a potential modern Paper Mario pitfall where you don't need to do the enemies and battles become a bit redundant. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
That's a good point too, and now that you bring up that point, I kind of am with Shroob on this. I like the way that 1 does it better because of that, and if they do that, like you said, with optional battles, then, oh god, we are in for probably the worst experience.
We'll see. I think that, the first game was very well designed, and I think they're just going through a different stylistic choice that we'll see if it pays off. Hopefully they make battles, very fun. They were very fun in the first game, and they look plenty fun now, so people will want to play the battles because they're fun, and B, battles being very important and useful, and skill tree or leveling up in certain ways. I really wish I watched the full presentation recently, but I think that their skill tree is not quite the same as it was before. I think it might be a bit simplified, but I'm really not sure.
I'm confused about that because it already was pretty simplified in the first place.
Should we take a break to just rewatch the whole presentation again?
Simpler than simpler is literally nothing, so that has me scared. And that's my thing with this game. I guess while you're looking it up, George, real quick to refresh, because I watched the 6-minute presentation before this just to refresh some of my memory. At this point in time, I feel like they've kept this a bit tighter under wraps, which is weird. What is it? A few months ago is what we're saying we last saw some info?
Yeah, it was 2 months.
That's so weird, because you feel like they'd be, ramping it up by now. Maybe they will ramp up advertisement and all this and that. And of course,
are they doing tree houses on it though?
You're right. They are doing a tree house, I think. Yeah. Mid-September. That's right.
The heck is a tree house? Well, no, that sounds stupid. What do you mean by a tree house?
Oh, a tree house is Nintendo Treehouse is a group of people who do gameplay deep dives. They do a video. They're actually employed by Nintendo. That's just the name of the group. They don't live in a treehouse or anything. They do gameplay bits for people to watch on YouTube. That's just what it's called.
A treehouse is a tree fort or tree shed is a platform or building constructed around, next to, or among the trunk or branches of one or more mature trees while above ground level. Got you covered, True.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bad. I thought it was in the Arctics.
Oh, dude, I thought it was in the sewers. Thank heavens. They grow trees in the sewers, right?
Probably.
I am the Lorax.
That's where the New York electric rats live. They live in the underground tree houses.
True.
And they feed on the leaves.
Well, there is a game about an electric mouse coming out in the next few months, I think, so.
Oh, good!
Yeah!
That's great to hear!
It's an indie game. I'm so excited for it. But anyways, we're here to talk about this.
I want to bring up, before we go too deep into the potential Paper Mario-ish not goodness of avoiding battles. That was a whole sentence.
The fear. I could hear it.
What do we think of the? They've basically completely changed the way that you move around in battles. Because instead of a grid-based system, it's just go around within a circle area. That within this circle you can move around as you wish, and then you stop where you feel like it. I'm not sure how much that will affect the game in the end. It might be one of those things that looks like it's going to change everything, but then doesn't end up being that big of a deal.
I agree completely.
It probably
What's the point? Why did the grid not work?
I don't get it. Is it just adding fluidity so that way you can take it at an inch, another 10th inch angle? Wow, congrats. So happy for those guys out there.
I also see things like cover blocks that are diagonal, I think.
Okay, that's
So,
interesting.
like, that gives them a lot more freedom in, like, designing the world and designing what battlefields look like. But, like, would that make it a bit harder to tell whether the cover is going to be effective or...
Well,
I'm not sure.
I mean, think of it like, don't look too much into it, because as much as I joke about it being a 10th inch of strategy, it really is just adding, it's basically doing what Pokemon did, you know, you took a two-dimensional movement, you made it 3D, you added a couple more dimensions to it, and a diagonal, literally the diagonal cover is probably just going to be as you see it. You can only do well at a diagonal. Like, if somebody tries to take you from a horizontal where the diagonal intersects, you still get hit. Vertical and the diagonal intersects, you still get hit. I wouldn't look too hard into it. The only thing that might do it is that the diagonal movement might make the game a little bit easier, because instead of just going horizontal and vertical, now you can go from every which way, slide wherever you want, and just do that. But I don't think it's going to affect too much, except maybe the lack of difficulty as it is.
Yeah, probably not going to be that big a deal, to be honest.
It's just upgrading it for a more modern audience, quote unquote.
A lot of things to make things feel more fluid.
Yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
I think it's very nice that they are basically, this game is Super Mario Galaxy themed, which being, I think we're all from the generation that grew up with Galaxy, right?
Yep.
I for sure am.
Yeah.
I for sure am. If anyone is.
Absolutely, you know?
So yeah, it's nice to see all that. Big, mysterious, purple hooded figure, the name of which escapes me. What's that, the villain called? Does anyone remember what it's called? I don't remember what the villain is called.
Well, I think they revealed another ghost that could be the villain, so...
Well, yeah, it looks like we've got a few minor villains that they've shown, at least. It looks like there's going to be a lot more dialogue from, like, just side characters, by the looks of things. We see, like, a lot of just Rabbid characters that we're coming across. Have you seen the, like, a little adventurer Rabbid, who's, like, a normal-sized Rabbid, but with a massive backpack and he can't stand up? It's like kind of like Captain Toad, but to the extreme.
It will be interesting, that's for sure.
It looks like the characters have a lot of personality. There weren't many NPCs with like dialogue in Kingdom Battle, really. Obviously, you've got Beepo, obviously you've got Bowser Jr., and then you would come across that big sunflower guy at the very beginning of the game. You come across Toad every now and again, and Toadette, but it looks like they're going a lot more creative with like Rabbid characters and whatnot that can talk now. Whereas before, the only Rabbid character that like got dialogue of any kind was the Phantom, who was, of course, very, very enjoyable character, of course, because he's able to sing and stuff. But it would be very nice to be able to see more of the Rabbid characters be able to have speaking lines and stuff and make it feel more like a story in an RPG.
It's just
I need to wait. I need to say something right now.
Go ahead.
This is completely off topic from Sparks of Hope, but Phantom was in my mind the biggest switch from oh no to oh yes in a video game.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's why.
Not liking the game until then.
No. Not like game quality, just him specifically. When he started singing and he only said blah, I was not happy.
No.
Then he started singing lyrics, I was like, this is awesome.
That's my worry. That is my huge worry with the idea of more dialogue for Rabbids and characters in general, is that the first game found that good balance where the Rabbids were just there, they were their normal themselves, but it was mostly Mario and all of them that took the forefront anyways. And the characters that the Rabbids based themselves around were pretty good. I'm worried that this is going to be the game where people start to really remember why the Rabbids are the worst thing to exist, because let me tell you, if they decide to play all the do people like Rabbids?
What?
Nope.
I mean, they can be pretty funny, I guess.
They are the most annoying things on Earth, and I remember for the longest time there was an obsession with them to the point of a TV show and a Kinect game. And it's not funny, they're not that great, and you give them too much leverage, and they're the worst things to exist. And quite honestly, with an RPG, they found that healthy balance where the Rabbids weren't that bad last game. But for this game, if they're going to do it,
most of the Rabbids were just like vibing in the background.
Yeah, exactly. They were vibing. They
were just doing funny little things that Beepo would say something funny about. And the Rabbids that were like important were like the characters that were on your team, and they were pretty tolerable as well. They all had their personalities, and I like that.
I'm just worried that this game's similar personalities, like all annoying Rabbids, because I'm worried they're going to play into the Rabbid humor a bit too much and forget what makes RPGs great, and try to think about, oh, what makes Rabbids great in our minds, you know, fart noises.
Where do you get that impression? Because in this game, like I literally just said, there are like several Rabbid characters with dialogue, which is the antithesis of Rabbids being annoying.
They weren't that bad, though, was the problem. But this one seems a lot more dialogue heavy, is what you said. So more dialogue equals more chances to screw it up. They knew when to reel it back, but bigger ambitions lead to bigger problems. And that's my thing, is that they could do that. There's plenty more Rabbids, plenty more chances to screw it up. And is it gonna happen? Maybe. Who knows? But they legitimately, like the Mario+Rabbids, they were fine. And it seems like from the trailers, they're gonna get that equal share time where it's like you get a chuckle out of them. The NPCs, there's such a thing as too much dialogue, playing too much humor, which a lot of games don't understand. A lot of entertainment doesn't understand, honestly. And I'm worried that this is gonna be the game that people start seeing why the Rabbids are the worst.
Wow.
But supposedly they're the worst because they're just like annoying minion-like characters that go blah, but they're talking now, so...
Well, at least the dialogue for that is reeled back in, you know? You could easily, like, just give them all of the annoying traits in normal speaking dialogue. Like, it's done before by people, they can do it again, and also they've done it for TV shows and other video games with Rabbids. It's not out of the question for them to screw it up. I don't see where the difficulty is to understand that, but I mean, I'm just saying it's a possibility, and I'm also embracing for it because an RPG with more dialogue and bigger ambitions leaves a lot more doors open to screw it up.
Wow.
Thank you.
A lot more doors open to make it better than ever as well.
And again, that's the thing too, that leads back to my other point. We don't know a lot about this game, which is weird, considering you figured they'd open the doors on this game, considering it's just Mario and Rabbids. Like, I don't see what grand specials they're keeping under wraps. Like, is Rosalina gonna come in and, like, be an amazing character for the final fight? I sure hope so, actually. That'd be awesome.
I do feel like Rosalina is definitely going to be a
She has to be. There's no way.
No way she's not. Some people are theorizing that she's actually the villain and she's been corrupted somehow. I'm not so sure about that. I feel like that's a bit of a long shot, but I do think that she's... I really hope that Lubba is in the game as well. I think that Lubba would be so fun to have in the game.
I ain't gonna lie, that Rosalina line's kind of cool. I like that.
Oh, it could be.
It probably isn't, but I like that. I like that. That's kind of cool, actually.
You're thinking of Rosalina in a goth GF sort of...
I'm not thinking about whatever she's looking like. I'm thinking about the power she can exude. Like, she's already, we know, an all-powerful being. This girl could summon meteors if she wants to as a villain. I like that. That's kind of cool, actually. That's really cool.
By the way, I really like what Shroob is adding to this conversation. Just going blah in the background. It's very appreciated.
Very appreciated.
We have to talk. Wait, we have to talk about the new playable characters. We kind of have to.
Rabbid Rosalina, yeah.
And also the other Rabbid character that I'm severely confused about.
The anime
Edge.
one?
That's what she's called. She's called Edge.
I don't care what she's called. I'm so confused.
Bowser's
cool.
there.
She
Bowser's
looks
there.
Yeah, Bowser's there. Bowser's gonna be obviously
like that.
I feel like Bowser's gonna be the easy win because he's so powerful.
Bowser,
Just like Bowser's story.
Bowser looks cool and he's always fun to have on the hero's side. He's probably going to be fun, big, powerful character that's going to be fun to play as. My main worry is when he joins the side of the heroes is he's going to forfeit his dialogue privileges, which worries me. Because in the original Kingdom battle, Peach started off the game being able to talk. And then when she joined your party, she didn't breathe a word of dialogue after that point.
They're probably gonna sacrifice it. Let's be honest. They're gonna do it.
Especially since at any point in the game you could have any combination of characters out at a time. Unless they're gonna force you to have at least a character that can say things at any one time, or like have Bowser be the special case where he's the only one that can say dialogue. So I feel like they're gonna, unless they do like a few cutscenes throughout the game where all the characters are in the scene. Like a few cutscenes throughout the game where all the characters are there, and like we've got Peach and Bowser, who are like the exceptions who are able to talk. Maybe Edge gets to talk as well. Perhaps she looks like she might have dialogue. If we're giving Rabbids dialogue now, that is.
am 100% expecting anime stereotypical lines, and I'm either gonna love it or hate it. There's no in between if they do that, because that character.
I want her to be like over the top, comically edgy, and like. Actually, let's have Rabid Rosalina be in the background, rolling her eyes every time Edge.
Rabid Rosalina just doesn't look like she wants to be there in general, and one of her abilities to
She's
put
a whole
enemies.
mood.
Like, she literally is like, one of her abilities in the gameplay is to put enemies to sleep. So she is genuinely not gonna want to be there. She might have some of the better dialogue, or not even dialogue, just best moments. Because I feel like she's a whole mood of, I don't want to be here. Like, you know?
That's an ability that Rabid Cranky had in the DK DLC. Did you play the DK DLC then, Benson?
I haven't played much. I know about it, haven't played much. I think I got my fill of Mario and Rabbids, and then the next few things came out, and I was like, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you about this. Rabbids Spark of Hope looks great. I don't think I'm gonna buy it day one. There's too many other things that have my attention way more.
Okay.
I don't know. It's probably gonna be November, December I play it, if I get lucky this year. But like I said, it's not even a Game of the Year contender for me. This year's way too packed for my liking. Like, way too much.
Nothing has my attention more than Mario and Rabbids, to be honest. Like,
oh my god, George, you're missing so much, man.
Like, I played the Splatoon 3 demo. I didn't enjoy it very much. I'm probably gonna.
You were like the minority then. That's insane.
To be honest, I really didn't have fun. I feel like I'm getting worse and worse at that game as time goes on, and I'm having less and less fun with it.
Worse and worse. You just gotta keep trying. You know, you don't stop at one thing. But I mean, I also get where you're coming from. I never really got into Splatoon, but I think I'm the opposite, where you're gonna drop it. I feel like I'm gonna pick this one up because I never got into the first two, but this one surprisingly has caught my attention. I don't think I'll play it religiously, but, you know, it's interesting.
I think that having the spawn points, like, off the stage is, like, such an unnecessary change, and it just annoys me every time I respawn. I've got to grid jump without any choice, and it always makes my camera go out of sync, and I need to resynchronize it every single time I respawn now.
Edge, I will admit, as weird, as confused as I am about Edge, spinning and leaping with the sword is kind of cool.
Got some really cool animations on these characters.
She does have great stuff, but we'll see.
Speaking of Sparks of Hope, what do we think of the Sparks themselves, the Rabid Lumas?
I don't like how they look. I don't like how they look.
They're beautiful. I want to marry them. They're beautiful, obviously.
Congrats, Shrew.
My honest opinion is that I completely forgot how they look. I have no idea how they look.
Shroob, I need you to just like do a whole stream where you look at a spark. When the game comes out, do a stream. Just get the camera as close to a spark as possible if you can, and then just be like, "This is the whole stream." Just stare at the spark. It's beautiful.
I'll do that if I don't get the game.
You know what? Fair. Get a PNG off Google Images and do that.
Someone needs to make the Parks and Rec meme where he's looking at, this is beautiful. I've stared at this for 3 hours now.
If you're in the chat, I know there's a lot of memers in the chat. A lot of memers. Please feel free to do that. I'm interested to see who does the best version of it. But back on the Sparks real quick. The fact that they're power-ups in a way. How do we feel about that?
How do they work? I'm not sure how they work exactly. Are they like... Oh, wait. In this game, I don't think that we have, like, primary weapons and sub-weapons anymore. We have primary weapons and each character's, like, respective spark that they use. Or, like, sparks that you can interchange when you go into the battle.
I was going to say, the sparks are probably going to be the most interchangeable thing. Because it looks like, from what I'm seeing... The only real effect so far the sparks seem to have is elemental damage. Like, your basic RPG stuff. Like, Mario used one I saw that had, like, an ice AoE effect, you know, where ice crashed down on an area. Luigi, with his bow and arrow, shot like an electric spark, and it paralyzed enemies and did like a chain effect. It was pretty cool, but it seems like it'll just be like additional status effects.
That bow and arrow is really cool. I like how they
cool.
like they're giving so many characters like weapons that aren't just like basic weapons. Like so many of them were just gun but a different shape. But now they're like completely different things. Like, what does Rabid Luigi have now? I don't remember.
I don't know, actually. I don't remember. But that does go into another point, I guess, if we're talking about personality. The personality of this game, whether you're worried about the dialogue or just worried about the humor overstaying its welcome or not, like it's an oh no and oh yes moment like with, like Shrewd mentioned earlier, I will admit this game has a lot more personality, and it goes hand in hand with the gorgeous worlds that they're doing. How they execute it is going to be seen, like a lot of things. Again, we don't know a lot. Take a drink every time we say that. But I will admit that there seems to be... Thank you, Shroob. I will admit, the personality of these characters, of this world, is definitely a lot more noticeable. I saw this in the comments. It's been a while. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they also gave, like, Mario+Rabbid his own voice. Like, he has a gruffer voice. I don't remember that.
He's got a different voice. He's like a deeper voice, and that's an interesting turn. That might be good, or it might be a bit cursed. One thing that I really wanted to talk about is, you remember how in Kingdom Battle it was quite restrictive with what characters you could have on your team. Like, you always had to have Mario, and you always had to have at least one Rabbid in your team. And based on the trailers, those rules are out the window. You can have no Mario, and you can have no Rabbids. You can have what you want by the looks of things, which is, of course, that's just an objective quality of life improvement. That's a good idea.
That's improving a lot. That's like the flexibility of making things diagonal, you know? It's just adding accessibility.
Yeah, they're changing a lot of things, and I like that. Like, sometimes making changes to a game's formula for a sequel can be for the worse, but I think that it's better to risk that if you think you've got an actual good idea than to just stick with the same thing.
I mean, let's be honest, Nintendo and Ubisoft are multi-million-dollar companies. If this game doesn't exactly do as well, they're going to do another game or plan DLC anyways. It's not going to hurt their wallet.
The DK DLC, that was a really fun time. And it was like very separate from the main game. Did either of you ever play the versus mode in Kingdom Battle?
Not particularly.
One of us has to like do a stream where we just do versus mode.
Well,
we have to.
You're on.
That would be nice. That would be nice if there was online multiplayer, which there isn't.
What?
Wait, there isn't?
No, Kingdom Battle doesn't have online multiplayer.
Nope, I'm turning my Switch on right now and checking. Nope.
You know what?
Always baffled me. It doesn't have it. It doesn't have it.
Nope.
Believe me.
Boycott Drift is messing me up.
If it had it, I would know.
Yeah, you definitely would know.
Because I play Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle versus mode like all the time with other people that I know in real life.
That's bad.
But there's not an online mode.
That's bad.
And the versus mode, they didn't update it with like making DK and Cranky available. They didn't give you any new arenas to fight in throughout the game's life. They didn't update it, and they didn't make it online.
That's lazy.
Which I really hope that they do for this game. I hope that they make it online.
I hope so too, because the fact they didn't update it after the DLC, the fact they don't have online, that's just lazy. That's just straight lazy right there. Like, that's unacceptable. Like, I get that probably not a lot of people are going to use the online mode, but for the couple thousands that would, it's a great feature. And having grand online scale battles with actual people that can think and strategize real time instead of waiting for an NPC is brilliant. Like, that kind of annoys me, all things considered. Like, wow.
You wouldn't have used it, but the fact that they didn't do it annoys you still.
It does, because at the end of the day, even if I don't exactly like a mode particularly, I acknowledge some people will. And that's an easy thing right there. That's just lazy. Like, that's kind of pathetic. Like, what that's a ball dropped right there. Wow.
If they're going to do DLC, what theme do you think they're going to do it? Because, like, the main campaign is already Galaxy themed. And if, like, the DK DLC means that it's like a sort of... DK is like, it's connected to the Mario franchise, but it's sort of like its own thing. I think it would be really fun if they did like a Wario Land themed
I was thinking
DLC.
that. I was actually thinking that. That'd be perfect.
It would be perfect. It would be really good. It would be so much fun. But Wario Land gets like no recognition. But hey, maybe Ubisoft will recognize it more than Nintendo will. So
Yeah, we'll see. That's for sure. I would be interested in that. I'm not gonna lie.
another direction they could go down is they could do a Yoshi's Island themed DLC, that's a much more like actually paid attention to series by Nintendo, so it's
that would
more
look
likely.
really good. That would look really good in this game, honestly. Yoshi's Island.
Especially since Yoshi and Rabbid Yoshi aren't returning as characters in this game.
Oh, you're right.
So you could bring at least Yoshi back in the DLC.
Maybe it's like a what's Yoshi doing during this whole story type of thing, like like another side of the story, kind of like Bowser's Minions. That'd be pretty
Maybe the spaceship in this game took off like just as Yoshi was on the ground, like running after it. Wait, no, you forgot me,
exactly.
kind of thing, and then.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Shroob, did you confirm if there's no online yet?
Yeah.
You okay, buddy?
It's sad, isn't it?
I told you!
Yeah.
Like, George told you too, what the heck?
I'm sad.
That's sad. George told us!
Like, I really wish that there was online versus mode, because versus mode is a really fun part of that game. And like, versus mode in this game, it's actually really buggy. As a matter of fact, Rabid Luigi, he has a vamp dash, where if he dashes into enemies, he'll steal some health from them. In the versus mode, it doesn't work.
Nice.
If you try and dash characters in the versus mode as Rabid Luigi, it doesn't vamp at all. So the whole like main draw of Rabid Luigi is gone then. So
well, use normal Luigi.
That's lazy. That's lazy. Why?
I always feel like I want to use normal Luigi more often, but he's really low health. He like dies really quickly, and that just makes me annoyed and stressed whenever I've got Luigi on my team. So I never use Luigi very often.
No matter what RPG, they keep giving him the short end of the stick. They always do, one way or another. Whether he's turned into the villain or his health just sucks.
I had to think about what you were talking about, turning him into the villain. That's kind of sad.
Shroob!
I was thinking, like, the legitimate villain.
What do you do with a job again, Shroob? Remind me.
I don't even think it's not even your job. It's like, what do you do?
I talk about the Mario and Luigi games.
You know what? Fair point. Fair point. This is true.
Paper Mario is not as good in my opinion.
Ooh!
Any final thoughts on Sparks of Hope?
I have one thing.
Yeah.
The world better be as good as it was in Kingdom Battle.
Yes.
Kingdom Battle has such good worlds and such good like vibes for the different worlds and aesthetics and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that though. Well, obviously they do look good. I'm not going to disagree with that. I love the exploration that the worlds have.
Oh yeah.
It's actually pretty. It's probably the most underrated part about Kingdom Battle.
I think
literally
that
every single world has a secret world that you have to find.
Yeah, I think that this game might actually lean into that more because the worlds feel more like naturally like worlds. Because it's with Kingdom Battle, it was very follow this straight path, and maybe there's like kind of an obvious like little branching bit, but in this game, I think that it's going to be less so that. I think that there's going to be a lot more emphasis on exploration. Like the worlds look like they're designed to be much more like uniquely shaped and stuff. If you look at the trailers, they look a lot less linear. And I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for that, to be honest. And there's like an autumn themed area, like Autumn Mountain, and I'm excited to go there because that's like my favorite aesthetic. Orange. Yes, orange.
I wonder why. I am pretty excited for this game. Again, there's a lot coming out. It's probably not going to be close to Game of the Year, so I'm probably play it mid-winter when I get up to date with everything for the game dimension and everything else for my content, yada yada yada, and also play these other fantastic games. But for a game that shouldn't have so many interesting questions about what we're going to jump into, there's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, they gave us the basics, and then they're going to basically just leave it at that up until release, which I'm intrigued by, because clearly there's something under wraps, and that has me honestly more intrigued by than anything. I think it'll definitely be the same quality as Battle Kingdoms. Whether its execution in some of these changes is better or worse has yet to be seen, but I am overall interested and pretty excited for this game.
So excited. I am ravenous for this game. It's like Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope and the Mario movie that's coming early next year are the two things I am most excited about. In general,
excited?
right now. I'm so excited. Even if it's bad, I don't care. I'm really excited to see it. I need to see it. When will we get to see Chris Pratt's voice come out of Mario's mouth? I need to know what it's like.
When the first trailer drops, probably this winter. That's another thing we could talk about at some point, even though it's not RPG related. I
want to. I don't want to talk about that.
It looks.
We need to.
I'm scared. The casting looks. I don't know.
Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do if like the plot is like? What if they actually like reference the RPGs a whole bunch and surprise us all? And then we're gonna be like, okay, we feel obligated to do a discussion video about it.
I'll still
now.
talk about if the film sucks or not. I'll be like, oh, these Easter eggs are pretty cool, but let me tell you the 50 reasons why this sucks. I don't care about nostalgia bait. Don't try to play me like a fool with your Easter eggs. It's not Easter every day, idiots at Nintendo. You can't stop me from being honest. I will tell you if Chris Pratt should have been Donkey Kong and Seth Rogen should have been Mario. Oh my god, I love that now. I can picture Seth Rogen's laugh with Mario. Just hear me out. You just hear Seth Rogen's laugh. It's me, Mario.
No, leave.
I would love that so much.
Fire the whole cast and make Seth Rogen play everyone.
Yes!
Why?
Seth Rogen as Bowser! Yes! I love it.
Peach.
Especially
Peach.
Mario, I baked you a cake. Please come to the castle. Shroop, you want him to be like a Shroop, play like the Shroops? Or Yube? Seth Rogen is Yube.
No. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
You didn't want a Yube scene?
You don't want a Yube scene with Seth Rogen?
No, because I don't want to know how that's gonna look. They have to make Yube. He's gonna look terrible.
For all we know, he could look fine, and then he has a breakdancing scene, because Illumination Studios is making it, so you gotta have one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Hooray.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm excited, sure. We get 2 great movies in the span of 6 months. Avatar 2, The Way of Water. I'm gonna cry if I'm forced to go watch Avatar 2, and they play a teaser for the Mario movie. That's like double horrifying. That's like double horror.
I actually quite like Avatar, and I'm excited for the second movie.
What?
What's wrong with it?
It's the most generic, boring thing ever. If I wanted to see a plot about the environment, I would watch The Lorax. It's beautiful looking, but it's so boring. I watched it for my sci-fi class. We all took notes at our own time. Professor brought us all in together, and he asked all 30 of us, what'd you guys think of it? And we all just looked at each other, and we're like, eh. Like,
okay. I think it's a creative concept, and it looks really nice.
I agree, the creative concept in the world is great, but the execution, much like I'm going to say for Spark, bringing it back to Sparks of Hope real quick, much like I say, the creative process can be wonderful, but the execution could be
video about now? Okay, so after this, I'm going to watch, since we're just talking about whatever now, I'm going to watch Legend of Korra, because I restarted watching Legend of Korra just recently, and I've made myself some very nice, like, peanut chicken noodles with, like, some veggies and stuff.
Nice.
It's a very nice recipe that I've cooked a few times since I moved here, and I enjoy having that while I watch Korra, so
let's
that's gonna be a
go!
good time.
Korra and the only Avatar we stand for. Woo! Woo! I love it. We love Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yay!
That's the good Avatar. That's the good Avatar.
It is definitely better. There's a lot more to like the Last Airbender kind of Avatar that is a lot better than the movie. I mean, there's a lot more content in general for that Avatar than that movie is
James
anyway.
Cameron didn't make a turtle duck.
I think we should finish there. We've spoken about
We've got
the
nothing.
Avatar movie. We've spoken about the Mario movie. We've spoken about what I'm going to have for tea tonight. All sorts of stuff. Sparks of Hope was there too.
Ubisoft, please release more information. We're desperate here.
Actually, I'm fine. I'm the kind of person where I'll like watch a trailer. Or you've frozen. You've frozen.
Oh, no.
Are you able to hear me?
We could see
Yeah.
we could see you and hear you just
Hello.
fine.
Oh no, you are moving again. Just
We're
like
moving.
very glitchily.
Oh.
Cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I'm the kind of person who is okay with like 1, maybe 2 trailers for a game or a movie, and then I'm like, okay, I've had enough. I don't want to. I want to spoil like as little as possible. I like to be surprised by as much as possible going into a game, so I'm excited for that.
Agreed.
I want to see more of that inventor girl at the start of Kingdom Battle who made the super merge, because she seemed fun. She's like a big Mario fan. Wouldn't it be so fun if she got to go into the Mushroom Kingdom and meet Mario? That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty fun,
But
actually.
let's finish there. Thank you very much for watching, dear viewers. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to these 2 lovely gentlemen's channels as well, because they also do good videos once in a blue moon. So you should definitely go and watch them.
And I stream.
Yeah.
I stream too. Shroob is George was a guest once or twice. Shroob has been a guest a lot more, for sure. Like Pokemon XD, like Shroob, it was fun to have on for that.
I would probably join Benson's streams more often, but I'm a British individual, and you tend to not be doing it at times that I'm awake or available.
Yeah, basically whenever I'm awake, because I'm not an early morning person in the slightest. So yeah, time zones are fun. That's the lesson to take away from this. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.